Hey everyone, Nehemiah again, and this time we're going to talk about maxing production for farms. What are the highest numbers you could get? How high could you even get in terms of production per hour? So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So first of all, you have your buildings. If you're going to have a farm, the obvious thing that you need to have is you need to have 21 of a single type of building and one of each of the others. So for example, for a food farm, if you look at the top left, you would have 21 farms, one quarry, one sawmill, and one mine. And then also for each farm, you don't really need hospitals or extra troop buildings, so that means you can have up to 18 houses in total. So essentially what these numbers on this page represent, I'm not going to just say them all out loud, but I'll just go through the food farm ones. So of course you have your raw production, and that's what you see in the building when you look at it, and that gets multiplied by your total boosted percentage. Then that gives you your overall value that you see. So we'll kind of walk through some different ways to do that, but at level 20, for example, all of the farms together would produce about 500,000 food per hour, and then there would be a 34 million food cap. So that's what all of these represent. The gold production one represents the number per building multiplied by 18, since each farm could have 18 houses. So anyways, you can pause and look at this. You might notice, I noticed some of the numbers stand out to me because I have had, for example, my buildings capped at, like for my iron farm, for example. This is one thing you might notice. So I had my iron farm. Here I had all his buildings up to level 20, and so I see the number 21.4 million every time I log in. When it's more than the time to get to max. So anyways, what are some of the ways to boost production? Well, some of the obvious ones are in the economics tree. That's the first research tree, and that gives you a 100% boost to food, wood, stone, iron, and gold, each of them independently. And then the advanced economics tree gives a 250% boost to food and a 160% boost to the others. Now, the challenging thing for farms, though, is that to get the max boosts from both of these trees, you're going to need to have Mage Guild 20. That's challenging to do on farms, but I think it's worth it overall. You get actually some rather significant boosts, especially from some of the other trees as well, but you need Mage Guild 20 for that. And I also think it's really important because of the addition of night adventures. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in another video, but you need Mage Guild 20 to get T4 troops, and you need T4 troops to go ahead and unlock some of the parts or challenges in master mode, which will go ahead and allow you to farm Hercules hammers. So it's kind of a mouthful, but it's a really good strategy, and we'll talk about that again in some other video. The set equipment tree, there are some boosts. They're not huge boosts, and most farms will never get these. So for example, you need to do the full set bonus to normal gear. There's 2 of them. And if you do all of those, that's a lot of speed ups and a good amount of resources for a farm. That gives you, if you're wearing the Sphinx set, a 60% boost to food production and a 70% boost to stone production. So it's not really a lot. A better course of action would be to go into the equipment power-up tree. So one of the downsides, though, to the equipment power-up tree is you need Mage Guild 21 to unlock the +5 power-up, Mage Guild 22 to unlock the +10 one, and Mage Guild 23 to unlock the +15 one. But it is definitely worth it. You get a real nice boost, especially wearing the Sphinx set, to wood production and iron production. The turkey set, you're not really going to want to wear for gold production. And then the Drill Master set is going to be real hard for farms, at least for now. I imagine it'll be much easier once they change the drop rates, but they're obscenely small right now. But anyways, that gives a nice boost to food and stone production. So anyways, how about crystals? This was something I realized just casually glancing. I'm like, wait, the construction crystals and troop training crystals have some boosts to resources on them. The construction crystals were kind of strange. So at level 6, they give a 5% boost to stone and iron, crystal 1 and crystal 2. But then at level 7, they give a 15% boost. And then I made a level 8 one. I'm using all of those polishing hammers for these videos, even though I wouldn't do it normally. It's not a high priority, but I need to know the numbers to make these videos. So anyways, 17% at level 8, and I guess 20% at level 9. I don't have enough crystals to make a level 9 at present. But anyways, that's interesting. If you had a full set of Crystal 1 or Crystal 2, you could get 35% stone or 35% iron, or up to 140% of those. But the troop training crystals are really good. Troop Training Crystal 2 gives 40% food production boost. So that means if you have 7 of them, you're going to get 280% extra food production boost. And then I said, well, why not just go Troop Training Crystal 2, Amplifying Crystal, Troop Training Crystal 2. That will give me 560% food production, and that's just with level 6 crystals. I am super pumped about that. 560% food production is huge. So anyways, I was excited when I figured that out the one day. So how about equipments? So now this is including pretty much the maximum. I'm not including crystals because maybe you don't want to put your precious crystals in farms, or maybe you don't care to do that. But anyways, what are you going to get the most bang for your buck? So these are the maximum numbers you'll get from Power Up 15 and the full set bonus research. So your numbers might not be as high as these if you don't want to do them on a farm. It's not really a high priority. It's nice to do, especially if you're using the farm for filling rallies and stuff. You might want that extra boost in case someone rallies your farm, so on and so forth. But anyways, the Sphinx set gives a nice kind of rounded bonus there, a little bit to everything here, with the best ones being wood and iron in particular. And the wood and iron boosts come mostly from the power-up tree. The gold production one is there kind of naturally. So if you have a farm that's like a wood farm, it's great to wear the Sphinx set, because essentially you're going to get the wood boost and the gold boost at the same time. It's great for an iron farm as well. A stone farm, it's not as good. There really aren't a lot of boosts on the Sphinx set. The only 2 boosts come from the 7 out of 7 equipment set bonus, and then one of the pieces has 24% boost to stone production on it. So it's not really that good, but there's nothing better until the Drill Master set came along, which gives a whopping 585% stone production. I'm going to give you some numbers with and without that later. I'm going to assume that you're not going to stick the Drill Master set on a farm unless, I mean, maybe months from now, but certainly not now. But the interesting thing about food is that even though the Drill Master and Sphinx sets give some nice boosts, it's not the best combo to do. So I went ahead here and listed some of the best items at each slot that you're going to go ahead and get for boosting food. So the helmet, the winner is actually the Drill Master mask, and that is including the plus 15 power up. Before, the previous winner was the hard helm, but it gives almost 100% more boost. But you might not want to put a Drill Master mask on, you know, a farm. So the hard helm, way to go. Armor, the Lightbringer breastplate, hands down, crushes everything else, even the Drill Master breastplate. So you definitely want that, but you're going to need to get your dragon to level 50. It's super easy to do with these, what are those, the challenges that last for a month. Those give you a lot of tokens, and also you want to pay attention if you want to level up farm dragons. One of the best ways to do it is don't do anything except during the Alliance Fair events. If you do it during the Alliance or Carnival events, just do some of the tasks, and like killing like 6 level 3 monsters or something is pretty easy to do, and it gives you an extra 200 million experience. So that will get you to dragon level 50 really quick, and you'll be able to go ahead and equip the Lightbringer breastplate. As for boots, Drill Master boots win, not by a lot this time. Conjurer boots and the Azure Cuisse, or however you say that, those are also pretty good. The Metal Tail Guard wins for sure in the tail, and then accessories, barrel rings, hands down. You need 3 barrel rings, which means that you're going to need to get your blacksmith to at least to level 20 for that. And so with no Drill Master, you can get a 1,275% food production boost from those items. If you included the 2 Drill Master pieces that are better in there, that would be even higher, but I'm just going to assume that you're never going to put those on your farm. Or maybe you will someday, and but that's just that. So another huge place to go ahead and get bonuses is from the Lord level. You can get up to 15% extra food production boost, which is just that's a lot. That is a lot. But most players might not actually get there. The reason is because you need to get your farm to Lord level 62 for the extra 650%. That is a huge boost, and it's really worth it to do that on your farm. So, of course, one thing that you could do is once you have enough um, once you get to the Alliance Quest Refresh 2, you can just simply buy Alliance Quest Refreshes and then spend them, and then you have, on average, earned back what you spend. So that will go ahead and slowly get you to Lord level 62. A way to go ahead and power level there, since there's a limit of doing 300 quests per day, is to just simply buy Alliance Quest Refreshes with gems. And then buy out of that, don't buy back Alliance quest refreshes. This is going to cost gems, but then buy the daily quest refreshes. Those start giving you huge experience after Lord level 61, but also pretty good experience before that. So anyways, that's just something to keep in mind. Wood production, you know, the extra 350% is huge in the same. Iron production is pretty tough because you got to get your iron farm up to level 67, which most people don't have their mains to there, but it's something to keep in mind. If you really want to maximize the benefits of these farms, getting their lord levels up is a great idea. So how about knights? Knights added a nice boost to many of the productions, except for iron. Um, I don't know why. I couldn't find any looking now. If I missed one and just being silly, let me know. But essentially, you're going to want to get Galahad and Tager for food production, Alamir and Tristram for wood, Lionel and Penthesilea for stone, and then Exemplar Vortigern for gold. And then the knight position, you just simply need a level 50 knight, and that gets up to 35% to each resource. It's not a huge one, but the huge thing is Galahad. Galahad is arguably the most important knight for your farm. So Galahad, he gives a 6-hour production boost every 24 hours when he's at epic. And it's based upon your boosted production, not the raw production. He'd be crappy if it was the raw production, but your boosted production. So I'll give you an idea of what that looks like here in just a few minutes at Noble Hall 21 to 25. And then he gives an 8-hour production every 24 hours at Noble Hall 26. And that's huge. Well, you'll see in a second. But it's really, really nice. So essentially you wake up, use Galahad's spell. Next day when you wake up, use Galahad's spell, and you're just going to get instant resources that goes ahead and goes above and beyond the cap, because one of the problems with resources is they some production boost after several hours. So anyways, some other boosts that you can get are VIP levels. I didn't bother to go ahead and ask what VIP 80 or 90 were like I did for the attack videos, just because you're not going to get your farm to VIP 90, at least not now. I mean, I suppose it's possible. Well, you could if you wanted, but anyways, Alliance Research is really nice, especially for food production. That gets you an extra 300% and 100% for the other resources and 200% for gold. It does take a lot of donations to get those going, but it's worth it just to keep working on them. It helps your guild as a whole. And then, of course, you have the 7-day production boost, which is 25% except for gold. And then throne title. So where does this leave us? What kinds of numbers does this actually put us at? Well, this is, of course, with the plus 15 power-ups and set equipment research. So if you're not going to do that, it's going to be a bit less than this. But the food production boost, about 4,000%. And that's not including Drill Master or even the troop training crystals. And just wearing the non-set gear like the Lightbringer breastplate and stuff that I mentioned before in VIP 50. So essentially, if you put the troop training crystals in there more, that would go ahead and boost this by an extra 560% if you did Troop Training Crystal 2, amplifying Troop Training Crystal 2. So that's super sweet. Wood production, about 1900%. Stone production, 1700%. Or if you got Drill Master on your farm, that'd be 2200%. And then iron production, if you are not going for lore level 67, which you could, I'll eventually do that on my iron farm, but not in a hurry to do that. 1700%. And then gold production, it depends what level you're at. If you're less than level 60, you could get up to 1800%, and then that can go up to 2500% at level 65. So you go ahead and put this up, your boosted production. What does this look like? Your food farm, if you have level 21 buildings, you're going to be at about 25 million food per hour. And you're going to cap out in about 100 minutes. So every 100 minutes, your food farm is going to be full. The wood farm, about 10 million per hour. I'm looking at level 21. You can pause it and read, but essentially, here are all of the glorious totals, adding this all up. So this is about what you could expect. And I also put the time to full. The stone farm, I didn't put Drillmaster in. Drillmaster would give about a 25% boost to these numbers. But you see here, an interesting thing is that all of the farms are full in less than 5 hours. So essentially what that means is that if you don't log in every 5 hours, you're losing these resources. Which, I mean, unless you're awake or you use some kind of program like Nox to automatically send stuff to other farms, then, you know, you're going to miss out on some resources. So one of the nice things that they added into the game was with Galahad. So this is what you could get daily with Galahad. So Galahad, he goes ahead, if you have your Noble Hall to 21 to 25 and level 21 buildings, he gives a 6-hour production benefit every single day. So what does this mean? If you had level 21 buildings, you log in, use Galahad's spell on your food farm, and boom, 150 million extra food goes in. So you would have had about 45 million sitting there when you wake up anyways on your food farm, and then you get an extra 150 million food every single day with Galahad. And those are the other numbers there. And then it gets super sweet. So if you put level 6 crystals in with the amplifying, now, it could go even higher if you had level 9 crystals on your farm. Level 9 troop training 2 crystals on your farm and level 9 amplifying crystal. You get huge. But essentially, what does this mean? You could wake up with level 26 farms, Drillmaster, the 2 Drillmaster pieces, and Noble Hall 26, and collect 310 million food every single morning when you wake up. That's awesome. That is very awesome. So Galahad is the man. And the nice thing for food farms is that Galahad also boosts food production, so you kind of get a 2-for-1 there. And those are some of the other boosts that you would get. So if you had a max stone farm, you get 128 million stone. I just don't get as excited about 128 million stone, but it adds up. It's nice. Every single day, you go ahead and log in. And so what's 128 million stones over the course of a week? I don't know, time or a month. Let's say you would get an extra 4 billion stone every month. That's really nice, an extra 4 billion stone every month just by clicking a spell on top of what you're getting already. Now, of course, that'd be super sweet to have you get an extra 9 billion food every month just based upon Galahad. So he's great. Invest in him. And then just a few final thoughts. I would not rush your buildings to level 21 on farms. The Hercules hammers are tough to get unless you're spending on your farms, but many people can't do that. So what I recommend is do your Civic Center to 21 and Noble Hall to 21 only. You only need 280 hammers for that. You have to hit monsters for it. Do it during an alliance fair. Just spam it. Just do max hits. It doesn't even matter if you kill them because you don't get extra. It's just based upon the number of hits. You have to hit level 4 and above monsters. So just max hit level 4 monsters continually, or the highest level you can. And then the way to get Hercules hammers, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but it's essentially you can start farming them in master mode. So that's essentially it. Unlock Noble Hall, go ahead and start working on them, and then once you can get hammers from Noble Hall, then you can upgrade your buildings to 21, which has been super nice. I just got my wood farm, all the buildings up to level 21, and the only reason is because of the Noble Hall, the adventure mode. It's been super nice. I haven't had to spam monsters or anything like that. It's a real pain to do that. If you're hitting monsters on your farm and your main, that could be really, really tiring. So anyways, that's all I got. Hope you liked it, and good luck getting those resources from your farms.